What is up, my ninjas? Shinobi here with another Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls video for you guys, and today we're going to continue on with going through the classes and rotating through them, and the class that you guys voted for this week to cover, talk about, show you guys some different specs and builds and all that kind of stuff is the Wizard. Now, I was definitely looking forward to coming back to the Wizard. As you guys remember, in Season 1 I got to top 25 for the Greater Rift leaderboards with the Firebird build, and, you know, but the Wizard has been lacking in the past here. We have the fact that they weren't very good in groups, because nobody wanted to, you know, group with the Wizard. They just weren't strong enough. Their single target was abysmal. Their AoE was okay. They just were probably the weakest class in the game. But in Blizzard fashion, the weakest class in the game has turned into one of the strongest classes in the game with the change to the Tal Rasha and the new set that came out for the Wizard. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting little thing. I myself, as you've seen in the footage in the background there, I'm messing around with the Tal Rasha right now, which I have been told and I have heard and I've done my own testing. I feel like it's the strongest you know, set to go with is the Tal Rasha, but there's gonna be more testing to be done with that, and maybe I'll cover the other set in the next video. But this character here that you're looking at has 4 hours playtime. Now, as I talked about in a previous video with the Witch Doctor, which if you missed that, you can go back and take a look at a few of those videos that I did. But as I talked about with the Witch Doctor, what my goal was going into the next class. If you want to level up an alt class, what you should do is get your Greater Rift levels up there pretty high, get your cap up there with the blood shards, save up your blood shards like crazy. I had about 900 blood shards. I got this character power level to 70. Then I spent those blood shards, and I'm pretty geared right now. It's just a strong class. It does crazy big numbers, so if you love the big billion crits and the 2 billion and 3 billion crits, and with Power Pylon things start to get really crazy, yeah, it's definitely interesting, definitely fun, but let's go ahead and get into all that right now. Alright, and here we are in town, and you take a look here at my Wizard, just so you know. I was telling the truth, 4 hours playtime, and yes, there was a little blood shard thing going on, so just so people know that I didn't do the blood shard thing that people were doing, the exploit thing that people have been getting banned for. You can see that Season 3, only 23,000 blood shards, so yeah, definitely have not partaked in that. But 4 hours playtime for this character. Let's run through the items. Yes, I do have the 6-piece Tal Rasha. Now, the way that the 6-piece, the way how this works here, I'm going to run into it for you. So, a 2-piece, damaging enemies with arcane, cold, fire, and lightning will cause a meteor of the same damage type to fall from the sky. There is an 8-second cooldown for each damage type. So the idea, if you want the meteors to come down on a regular basis, is to rotate through them. So you want to try and go through all the different elements, and that's kind of the idea behind the whole Tal Rasha, is to kind of rotate through them, kind of time them. There is a little bit of planning involved, there's a little bit of multitasking involved, but you'll get the hang of it after a while. It is a little slow right off the bat, but you'll get there. And yeah, so you can see right there. So we're looking at the 4-piece now. Attacks increase your resistance to that damage type for 100%, by 100% for 6 seconds. So pretty crazy. I don't know if it'll work in town here, if I can show you. So, oh, there we go. See the damage type increase? And there we go. Look at, I'm getting all my stuff up now. See all my resistances going up? Boom, that 88% mitigation. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. You do get a big survivability bonus there, but you are still pretty squishy to some things. There's some monster types that will give you a tough time, but it does help out with the survivability there. Yeah. And that is that. So let's get to the 6-piece now. Attacks increase your damage by 150% for 6 seconds. Arcane, cold, fire, lightning attacks each add 1 stack. So this stacks many times here, and this is going to get you a huge boost of damage. That's why you're going to see those big billion, 2 billion, 3 billion hits, as well as from other factors that I'll show you. But yeah, that's how you get those big hits, and that's crazy. So Tal Rasha got a huge adjustment, a huge increase, and it's definitely looking really good. But yeah, I did get these off the bat here. You can see I don't even have the optimized things rolled. Like, you know, this character, you know, I didn't even have time to re-roll everything the way that I wanted to. This is an item that I actually just found randomly, just like decent item, but there's so many better items. Serpent Sparker, Ancient Devastator, things like that. I don't have either of those. Don't have to plan for Devastators yet, but yeah, so far that. But I am working on the wizard, and I will be playing it throughout the week on my stream. I'm starting up day 2 right after these videos go live that I'm putting up. So then you have this right here, which is crazy. So increases the damage of meteor by 100%. When your meteor hits 3 or less enemies, the damage is increased by 188%. This is a really great item to pick up, a very big priority along with your Tal Rasha to pick up. So keep that in mind. And also, you can get meteor damage on your boots, on your helm, and you'll get it on your offhand here. So meteor damage in these 3 locations. I did get it up here, still need a reroll to get it here, and obviously it comes with it on the Tal Rasha, and that can go up to 25%. So keep that in mind. And then also you can get the Hydra damage on your chest piece, which I did, and then on here, which I haven't re-rolled yet to get, but yeah. So taking a look, we do have the Focus and Restraint rings. This is a popular combo for the wizard because you're able to get both of them going on by simply just doing 2 clicks. You just, you know, use Electrocute and then maybe like a Blizzard or like Energy Twister or something like that. Any kind of spender and gainer, which you have here. You have your signature, this one right here, and then you can just, you know, use one of the other ones, and you just kind of try and keep that going, and that'll be really good for you, and you get that big damage bonus from both of those stacked on top of each other. Really huge. Now this is also another item that's pretty pivotal to get. From what I've heard, it's best in slot. That probably is the case, but yeah, so then what does it do? So Energy Twister periodically pulls in enemies within 30 yards. So it has this big range to pull things in. So you use things like Energy Twister with Wicked Wind. You throw that down and you just pull things into it. It's actually stronger than using something like if you're going to use like Black Hole and go with like the Arcane Rune or something. I feel like, and a lot of people feel like, the Energy Twister is just better for that through there. And yeah, seeing as how there isn't really a bracer that would be that strong for you anyways, but you know, obviously with some testing in the future, I'll see if I find some different results out of it. But yeah, you can see that I also on my gems here, my legendary gems, I haven't even leveled these up yet, haven't had time to, and I'm not even sure exactly which ones that I want to go with in the end. If you guys know the 3 most optimal legendary gems, put it in the comments below and let people know. I still need to do more research on that, and that'll be what this whole week is about. So yeah, I try to go into it knowing nothing about the stuff, and then go into it and just learn everything, and then, you know, learn it really quickly and then tell you guys about it. So that's the idea. But yeah, just using, now you might be wondering why using fire for right here, because you know, you use all the elements, right? If you're using fire, wouldn't you want to try to get different kinds of elements? Well, the thing is you can, but the highest damage impact you're going to do is from your Hydra, because it's a more steady thing for you, and especially on things like the Rift Guardian, and you know, you can actually increase your Hydra damage on here as well. So yeah, the fire is kind of the way to go. Things might change with that. I mean, like I said, you know, it's still a new concept, Tal Rasha, and the new set. There may be some changes in the future here, but for right now, this is kind of what I feel like a lot of people are doing for all that. So now I'm using these shoulders just for lack of a better shoulder, but I mean, this is shoulders that I've seen a lot of people use as well, because they are, you know, you don't really have anything special you can put with this. Yeah, so it's kind of what you're stuck with. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the gear there. Still got to get the gems up and everything, so still some time to be spent on that. Let's take a look at the spec a little bit here. So we have, like I said, Electrocute, Chain Lightning, have Blizzard with Frozen Solids, so you can get some stun action in there, get some survivability, and it is cold. So remember, we have Lightning, Cold, and then we have Arcane and Fire. You want to try and get 4 different elements to go on. That way your Arcane Dynamo will stack, I mean not your Arcane, but your Elemental Exposure will stack up, getting those different elements stacking up to 4 times. So you want to use 4 different elements, so Arcane, Cold, Fire, and Lightning. So you can really use the Elemental Exposure to its fullest. So yeah, it's pretty much the idea there. Now there are a lot of different combinations. You know, a lot of different people go with a lot of different builds, a lot of different ways, and that's really cool. I like that people can do that. Now you guys tell me some of your variations that you've done for the different elements and what you feel like is the strongest. I still have some testing to do with that myself. Going with Magic Weapon, Force Weapon, going with Energy Armor, Prismatic Armor. Now the Prismatic Armor I feel like is really strong because you get that 25% to resistances, because remember on Tal Rasha here you're going to get that big resistance increase. So if you get the 25% from Energy Armor, you're getting a lot more as well. So it is very good, but another viable thing to do would be Force Armor, so you don't get one-shotted by stuff, because you are pretty squishy even though you do get a lot of resistance. But what you don't get is physical resist, so you want to try to focus on getting your physical resist up and your secondaries anywhere you can. That's what I feel like would be the strongest thing to do. So I do have it in some areas, but I mean, it is lacking. Obviously, it is the lowest. Well, not the lowest right now. The cold is the lowest, but trying to get that up there because it will be technically the lowest when you get all of your stuff off. You know, so you can see that. There you go. It's still down there at 1900. And obviously you miss out on poison as well, but physical is the thing that's probably going to affect you the most, because you got winged assassins, you got things like that leaping on top of you, going to do massive damage to you. So locking them down with Blizzard, with twisting, energy twisters, things you're going to need. Using Hydra with Mammoth Hydra. And then obviously using Arcane Dynamo. Now we use this here because it's really great, especially on the Rift Guardian. It's a little tricky to time it on, you know, when you have a big density of monsters and things going on. You want to try to focus something down. You're going to try to focus AoE. That's kind of the way you want to do it. But when you're on the Rift Guardian, though, you just stack this up, you know, 5 times, and you know, you throw everything down, and you just get a huge explosion, because you're going to get that, you know, 60% damage increase on their non-signature spell. So pretty strong. And Astral Presence to help you with your arcane power being higher and getting some regeneration there. And then Cold-Blooded, because they're going to take an extra 10% damage from Frozen, so you freeze them up with the Blizzard. And, you know, you could use other things. You could use Glass Cannon, but, I mean, on the higher tiers, you're probably not going to get away with it. Unstable Anomaly is pretty good. Illusionist, pretty good. Audacity is okay. So there are some different things you could do here. But yeah, that's what I like about it. That's what I like about this whole thing, is that we have so many different options, because we have so many different elements, so many different skills that we can kind of throw in and kind of come up with a good combination of things. But so far the character is getting there. If you want to see some more wizard action, tune in for the other videos this week and also on the live stream. Let me know if you guys you know, had any different variations in your builds that you're doing and everything like that, and what you guys think about the guide videos so far. Looking forward to getting to the rest of them, and I will put a straw poll in the description below for which class you'd like to see next week for the next following up one that we're going to do for week 3 of season 3, and that'll be pretty much that. But this week, like I said, you'll probably have some Diablo 3 videos here and there, and then you'll have some Wizard videos here and there, and then obviously next week we'll have switching to whatever the next class is and doing that. So that's kind of the whole structure. But like I said, I'm liking the Wizard so far. I feel like it's very strong. It's great in groups now. It's, you know, it's got a lot going for it. Highly suggest you know, trying out the class for sure. But that is it for today, guys. My name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.